everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Maggie, and this is going to be my introduction to my 2021 low buy year. I have seen so many people on YouTube do no buys or low buys, and it's really inspiring, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So I've written out some rules, some objectives, and I wanted to talk through those things with you today, as well as what to kind of expect from me as I go through my low buy. So a low buy is something, like I said, I've seen a lot of people do. I'm always really inspired by it. And to me, there's a lot of reasons why people do low buys to, work through product they have, to save money, to be more intentional with their purchases. And I would say my goals and motivation are all of the above. It's not one specific thing. It's kind of just the entire experience. So I have here in my beauty notebook some rules that I've written out. They're on paper, so it's real, and I wanted to share them with you. So I want to start with the objectives, which is kind of why I'm doing this, what I hope to gain from it, and the purpose, kind of the, meat and potatoes, as Hannah would say. So I have 4 that I wanted to read off to you. So the first one is identify how much I use product-wise in 6 months. I do like having a stash of products, or like a, kind of a little bit of a backup, but I want it to be limited to just 6 months worth of what I personally go through. Part of that is I don't know what I go through in 6 months. I am totally guilty of every couple of months thinking, oh my gosh, I need more laundry detergent, and we need light bulbs and batteries, and we just need toothpaste galore, but I'm not done with those things. So this really applies to everything in my life, I would say. I just want to figure out what I go through in an average 6 months, and that way I'm a more educated consumer, and I know what I personally, in my, lifestyle, I'm gonna go through. Number 2 is to use what I have because I've already spent money on it. And that's just the truth, is what I have in my closet, what I have in my backup areas, I've already bought. And so I need to be using those things up first before purchasing new things, because the money has already been spent. And to me, there's no purpose in really buying new when you already have something that would work. You know what I mean? I'm sure that sounds like a no-brainer, but I wrote it down specifically so that if I'm having a hard day, I can come back to these and remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. Number 3 is to pay off my credit cards. I do have a little bit of credit card debt. It is manageable though, and it definitely can be paid off in 2021. So that's another reason why I'm wanting to do this low buy, is that the less I spend each month, the more I can put towards that balance and knock it out. So that is kind of the financial aspect for me. And number 4, of course, is to change my purchasing habits. I, want to be more conscious. I want to be more intentional with the purchases I'm making, and kind of come to the understanding that wants and needs are different, and, just really work through why I shop. What is that instant gratification I'm feeling? Why am I drawn to shop? I definitely am an emotional shopper, where if I've had a hard day, I want to shop online. Before, I would just stop by Target and pick something up, and I wouldn't even know what I wanted. I would just grab something and buy it, and it would make me feel better. And I really don't like that at all. I just don't want that to be the trend and pattern that I have in my life. So those are the 4 objectives. Next, I'm going to talk about the rules I have for myself. And I have, let's see here, I have 7 rules. So first one is replacements, of course, are allowed, but I must go through what we have first. So I have taken inventory of what I have. I have a video of my beauty product inventory that I can link down below. I just did that. And I am going to be strategic. Sometimes I have thicker lotions that I want to use in the winter and thinner ones that I want to use in summer. But ultimately, if it's the summer and I run out of all my thinner lotions and I only have thick lotions left, that's what I need to be using, because we already have it. It's already in our home, and that's the responsible thing to do. So I'm going to be a little bit strategic, but that is the goal, is to use everything you have before new purchases are allowed. Number 2 is to keep track of all of this. So I want to keep track of what I'm finishing each month. I'm also trying to write on the product with a Sharpie the date that I open something and start to use it, so that I have a better picture of when I finish it up. Oh, okay, I've had this for 4 months, or I went through this in 3 weeks, or whatever it is, because I'm not going to remember unless if I write it down on the product itself. So number 2 is to keep track of everything. Number 3, write the open dates, like I just said, with a Sharpie, but also with that is to be more mindful of maybe only having one open at a time, or as minimum of things open at a time. We have a few lotions around our house, but they're in places that we do use them every day. For my skincare, as an example, I only want to work on one vitamin C serum at a time, or one nighttime moisturizer at a time. I don't want to be dipping between multiple if I can help it. Number 4 is kind of a budget item. So I have a beauty fund that I put in my budget, which I do share my monthly budget. I do budget videos. I can leave that playlist down below too. So if that's something you're kind of interested in, you can watch those. But I do $50 a month in a beauty fund, and I just roll it month to month. If I use it, great. If I don't use it, great. And I am going to continue that in 2021, because I think it's important to make sure that you have money set aside for when you do need to purchase something. However, when I am at that point where I do need to repurchase because I have used up everything I have, right? It's a replacement. It needs to fit within that budget. So that means thinking about, okay, is it worth buying high-end, or is there a drugstore option that's going to work just as well? And that's also something that I can appreciate high-end products. I love some brands, of course, but I used to be way more into the brand than I am anymore. And I want to kind of re-trigger my brain to be focused more on the use of the product and less about the brand on the sticker of the product, because nobody ever sees that except for me. But if I can find a body wash at the grocery store that works just as well for my skin, why would I spend $20 on a body wash when I could spend $5 on a body wash? And that's just something that I want to think through. And I think making sure that my beauty fund is the limit I have is important. Like I said, it will roll month to month. So if I don't buy anything in January or February, I would have $100 going into March, which is kind of how it works. I don't think I'm going to be buying something every month, but that is something that I want to stay within those parameters. There are exceptions to that. So that's number 5. Toothpaste, mouthwash, body sunscreen, deodorant, and hand soap do not come out of my beauty fund. Those come out of my household fund, because those are products that are so important. They're not really negotiable. They're needs and necessities. So I have them coming out of a different category of my budget. So I just wanted to make that clear here as well, that again, toothpaste, mouthwash, body sunscreen, deodorant, and hand soap are not coming out of the beauty budget. The beauty budget would be skincare, hair care, makeup, anything extra. Number 6, because this low buy is going to be pertaining to all aspects of my life, is I'm going to have a $500 clothing budget for the entire year. And I wanted to talk through how I got to that number. So I figured $100 per season. So, if I need a new pair of shorts, or a new pair of mittens, or something that's kind of seasonally appropriate, I figured $100 would be good. And then $100, because that would be 4 seasons, 400, and then an extra $100 for necessities. So if I need underwear, socks, bras, white t-shirt, jeans, things like that, that are the necessities and kind of the base level, that is where I figured about $100. So in all, $500, that is what I want to keep my clothing within for the entire year. That does include shoes, that includes accessories, the whole thing. I really thought about that. I have a really nice winter coat. I have a really nice winter boots that I bought this year, so I don't think I'm going to have any major expensive purchases come up next year, such as those things that, to me, where I live in northern Minnesota, it's -10 as I look outside today on the frozen lake. It's right there. You have to have that kind of equipment. So I think I'm set there, but we'll just kind of monitor and see how that goes throughout the year. And that's kind of the thought process I had anyway of how I got to 500 was 100 per season plus 100 for basics. Then my last rule, number 7, is to create a wish list and a replacement list. So when I am, using a moisturizer or a lip balm or whatever it is I'm using, if there's another product in the future that I'm interested in trying instead of what I currently have, I want to add it to a list just so I can kind of remember. And also part of this is I want to review that list monthly and see what I can take off. So those are the 7 rules I have for myself. I feel like they're pretty manageable. We will see how it goes. I do want to say eating out, getting a coffee to go, things that are a little bit more experience-based are not included in this. This is particular to things and stuff and materialistic items. I think eating out and grabbing a cup of coffee and whatever else is part of the lifestyle that I live, and I do have budget for that. And it's something that I rarely do that alone. It's typically with other people. So I want to keep that opportunity in my life there. So moving on, I want to talk about the types of videos I will be sharing with you to do the check-ins and things like that. So I want to do a monthly check-in, and the kind of structure I was thinking about, I want to talk about my feelings, my wins, my struggles, just being raw with my experience. I also want to talk about if I've made any purchases, and then the budget update. So did it come from my beauty? Did it come from my clothing? That kind of thing, and where I'm at budget-wise. And I also want to talk through the number of finished products. So I will be doing empties videos separate where I actually review the products, but in this kind of low buy update, I will just be talking about, okay, I used up 10 products this month. They were mostly hair care, or they were household, or whatever they were, so that I have kind of a running log that I can keep track of. And then I also want to talk about the wish list and the edits of, what I put on there, what I can take off the list, and that kind of experience as well. So that will be the monthly update. And then I do think each quarter I might do like a quarterly review. So just what has happened in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, proud moments, just any sort of budget updates, big items that I think would be helpful to, talk about. And then also I can set goals, maybe, okay, I used up 10 things in the first quarter, maybe I can try to use up 12 things in the next quarter, or whatever that may be. I just want to have that opportunity to kind of reflect on the quarter, because 3 months is a big deal, and I think it should be kind of rewarded in itself. So I will be doing monthly and quarterly updates. Like I said, I will also be doing empties videos. Right now I'm planning to do them every other month, but if I start going through things at a rate where I just have a ton, I might bump it up to monthly, but I've just also been burned by that in the past, so we'll see. But that is kind of the ideas. I'll be doing get ready with me's with products that I already have. And so I'm just really looking forward to 2021. I think kind of COVID and working from home, for me anyway, has made me realize that I'm just really grateful for what I have, and I want to use it, and I want to be wise with my money so that I'm not wasting it on silly things. Like I said, I want to pay off my credit cards. I'd also like to increase my retirement savings. I have a lot of financial goals, and I think part of the reason why I'm not meeting them is because I have little purchases. It's, $10 this week and $15 the next week, and it's just little things that add up that I really want to nip in the bud. So anyway, that is the plan. I hope you guys will subscribe and come along on the journey with me. I would love to know if you plan to do a no buy or a low buy in the upcoming year, what your plans are. If you have a video or an Instagram post kind of talking through what you plan to do, let me know so I can check it out and support you along in your journey as well. But that is going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.